Hello, friends. Welcome back to our next session. So, in the last session, we have discussed about the quiz number one on chromatography. So, in this lecture, I will discuss the second quiz on IR spectroscopy. So, now onwards, all the links are closed. So, you cannot submit any response now onwards. So, let us discuss the questions and we will try to find out the answers. So the question one was infrared light has energy. The options were equal to red photon, less than red photon, more than red photon, and there is no relation between energy and the red photons. So as the name itself indicates, infra means inferior and red means red light. So the energy less than the the red light or red photon. So as the name itself indicate, the answer must be less than the red photon. So as we know, the IR radiation has the energy less than the red photons. So if you look at this the spectrum of electromagnetic radiations, it starts from you can say from the right, radio waves, microwaves, IR, UV visible, X-ray. So it is very clear from here that the as you move on the right side, energy decreases, and as you come on the left sides towards the X-ray, energy increases. So if you see the UV visible range have more energy than IR. So it is very clear from this uh, section that the infrared have energy less than the red photon. You can also compare the frequency chart and the wavelength here. If you move from left to right, the frequency decreases. If you can see here, I will just highlight. Okay, so if you see here in this row, so the energy of infrared radiations is less, and if you see here in terms of frequency, if you see here, the frequency is very less as compared to this one. So as you move from left to right, energy, if you see here, it is very less, and if you see here, it is very high. Okay, and the frequency also decreases. So as the frequency decreases, if you see here, the wavelength, I will change the color just to understand. The wavelength, if you see here, okay, it is getting increasing. So from the left to right, as you move, the frequency decreases, energy decreases, and wavelength increases. So our answer is energy less than red photon. The next question was define spectroscopy in one line. So you must know this answer. I will just state it. It is the interaction between study of interaction of light and matter. As the word itself indicates, scopy means study spectrum. So it is the study of interaction of light and the matter. Next question was a small massless particle that contains a small wave packet of EM radiation or light is known as, the answer is photon, not the electron, proton or neutron. These are all the particle of the atom. So the answer is obviously the photon. Now, which of the following is not bending type of vibration? Okay, remember the two major types, stretching and bending. And if you can recall the types of molecular vibrations, so if you see this type of vibrations, we have seen uh, fundamental and non-fundamental vibrations. So in fundamental, we have seen stretching and bending vibrations. So our question was which of the following is not bending vibration. So in bending, we know the two major types: scissoring, rocking, wagging, and twisting. And if you see the options, you will see the answer is the Fermi resonance. So if you see the options, we have scissoring here, rocking here, and twisting here. So Fermi resonance is non-fundamental, so it is not a bending type of vibration. So answer is Fermi resonance. Vibrations or oscillation along the line of the bond is which type of vibration? So the vibration along the line of the bond is which type of vibration? If you again go back, if you again recall the types of vibration that we have seen, so stretching vibrations are the oscillations along the line of the bond. So your answer is stretching vibrations here. So the answer is stretching vibrations. Now here you have to name the sources of light that are used in IR spectrophotometer. So these are the light sources. You have to just name the light sources: nurse glower, incandescent wire source, CO2 laser. So these are some of the examples. You simply have to name this. The answer is thermocouples or thermal detectors, bolometer, photoconductor detectors, piezoelectric detectors. Okay, so these are this is the instrumentation of IR spectrophotometer. If you study well, you will easily find out the answer. So the answer is thermocouples, bolometer, piezoelectric detector. So this is the answer. The next question is sample cell in IR spectrophotometer is made up of. The answer is both KBr and NaCl. So answer is both 2 and 3. It must be made up of either NaCl or KBr because both of these salts are IR inactive. True or false? Water is the best solvent for recording IR. So this question has been frequently asked in Vivas. Obviously the answer is false because if you have a traces of water present in your sample, you will see a broad OH peak. So this is definitely false. The fundamental basic requirement for a molecule to show absorbance in IR is the options were refractive index, dipole moment, unsaturation, and both 2 and 3. So here you might have slight confusion between the option 2 and option 4. Sometimes you might think that there is also a requirement of unsaturation, but the actual answer is dipole moment because some majority of you have tick the option 4, both 2 and 3. Indeed, the unsaturation has some effect in IR, but this is not the fundamental requirement. There are many other compounds which doesn't have unsaturation, but still they show IR spectra or IR absorption band. The x-axis of IR spectrum is in the units of. So if you remember, the IR spectra is a plot of percent transmittance versus wave number. So on the x-axis you have the wave number, okay, and the next question immediately on the y-axis you have percent transmittance. So the question number 11, the answer is wave number on the x-axis, and on the y-axis you have the percent transmittance. So it's a plot of percent transmittance versus wave number. So if you just see the samples, so this is the sample spectra. If you can see here on the y-axis you have percent transmittance, and on the x-axis you have the wave number. And if you see this first peak, I will just zoom it out here. Okay, now if you see this broader peak here, broader and large peak. So in the region where the EM field of an oscillation bond interacts with IR of the same frequency, so therefore the transmittance is very low. So when the meaning of larger peak is transmittance is very low because light is getting absorbed. On the contrary, if you see the peak on this side where the peak is very short, it means that there is 100% transmittance and light is absorbed. So what does it mean is when you have a larger peak, it means that it has low transmittance and more absorbance. Our next question is based on the same fact. Now a strong peak in IR spectra is an indication of that transmittance is low because the more and more IR energy is getting absorbed. So the answer was transmittance is low. Now here you have to state, question number 14 is state the primary use of IR spectrum. So as we have seen in the application of IR, it has two basic functions: detection of functional group and detection of types of bond. So you can simply state here is estimation of functional group and types of bonds present. Next question was a weak peak in an IR spectra is an indication of, that is obviously the answer we have seen just before, transmittance must be very high. Now for the next few questions you must follow the IR ranges, the table of IR ranges. So the question number 16, wave number of 1800 to 1650 centimeter inverse is the IR wave number of which functional group? So obviously now here you have to remember, as I have told you, the different zones. So we'll just simply try to revise some of so just simply revise some of the zones here, as we have studied zone 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So zone 1 belongs to double bond, zone 2 belongs to carbonyl group between 1650 to 1800, zone 3 it's of triple bond between 2000 to 2500, and zone 4 of CH, NH and OH stretching ranging from 2500 to 4000 centimeter inverse, and zone 0 also called as fingerprint region. So before you answer the next question, you have to keep this table in mind so that you will not found any difficulty. So if you refer back the table, the answer is it's a zone of carbonyl functional group. Now arrange the following stretching sequences in IR spectra. The one that appear at higher wave number will rank first. Okay, so the one which will appear at higher wave number will rank first. So if you recall this zone number 4, where we have CH, H and OH stretching. So on the leftest side you have the OH stretching followed by NH and followed by CH. So the question was the one that appear at higher wave number will rank first. So the answer was OH, NH and CH. Broad Gaussian shape peak at 3400 centimeter indicates the presence of hydroxy group. So this is a peculiar feature of hydroxy group, as we have discussed in the lectures also, that when you have a broad peak and the value is above 3400 centimeter inverse, so it is naturally a hydroxy group. So now the next situation, one strong peak at 1735 centimeter inverse and medium two peaks in between 2750 to 2800 centimeter inverse. It is an indication of what? So one thing is very sure, that when I say one peak at 1735 means it's a carbonyl group containing compound, and then two peaks in between 2750 to 2800. If you remember, I have told you about the aldehydes, that it is a peculiar feature of aldehyde category of compounds which shows two medium peaks. So if you can recall this table that we have seen about the aldehyde, I will try to highlight. If you see here the aldehyde group, it is showing the two medium peaks, so the answer must be aldehyde. So the answer must be aldehyde in this case. So I will click on aldehyde. The next question: one strong peak at 1675 centimeter inverse and medium two peaks in between 31000 to 3400 centimeter inverse indicate the presence of. Now if you see the value of the carbonyl group is a bit less, 16750 1675, and there are two medium peaks. Okay, so as we can see the value is very less in zone 2, so it is an indication of amines naturally. And if you also be able to record that as this compound is showing two medium peaks of, so these are definitely of the NH stretching, so the answer is definitely here the amines, because aldehyde, ketones and acid, they will have the frequency, they will have the carbonyl band at more than 1700 centimeter inverse. So you can clearly say that it is an amine, because you can also see the two medium peaks. So this is a peculiar feature of amines. 21. One strong peak at 1735 centimeter inverse and strong broad peaks in between 3300 to 3450 centimeter inverse. So now, so this is an indication of strong OH group, and the 1735 indicates the carbonyl group. So now we have to look at the compound which have the carbonyl group and OH group. So it's naturally an acid. You have a carbonyl group and you have an acid. It is not an amine, because if it is amine, then the carbonyl group frequency will be at much lower. Okay, if it is an aldehyde, then there must be two peaks, two medium peaks, as we have seen earlier. And also if it's a ketone, then we will not see the broad OH peak. So from this it is very clear that this is an carboxylic acid. Question number 22: enlist the factors affecting the IR. So if you can recall the points, the factor affecting on IR bands, we have seen conjugation, steric effect, strain effect, hydrogen bonding. So these are some of the factors which affects the IR: strain, steric effect, hydrogen bonding and conjugation. Next question: true or false, by resonance conjugation lowers the energy of the double or triple bond? If you again able to recall the effect of conjugation, so by resonance conjugation lowers the energy of a double bond or triple bond. So if you look at these two examples, the meaning of conjugation is, as I hope you know, the presence of alternate double bond. So if you see in the compound on the left side, as it has the conjugation effect, it is appearing little bit at lower wave number. Okay, so by resonance or conjugation, the energy of double and triple bond gets lower. So the statement given is true. Next question: true or false, changes in bond angle forced by the constraint of a ring will cause a slight change in hybridization and therefore the bond strength? So look at the strain effect. Changes in bond angle forced by the constraint of a ring will cause a slight change in hybridization, and therefore it will affect the bond strength. If you see, you can see here, as the bond angle decreases, the wave number are also getting decreases. So as bond angle decreases, carbon becomes more electronegative, as well as less sp2 hybridize, bond angle less than 120 degrees Celsius. So the statement is true there. So here the answer is true. Now next question: what causes a broadening in the bond due to creation of continuum of bond energy associated with it? The options were steric effect, resonance, hydrogen bonding, and electronegativity. So let us go back to the slides. Hydrogen bonding. So it causes the broadening in the band due to creation of continuum in the bond energy associated with it. So the answer is hydrogen bonding, which also causes the broadening of the peak, as we have seen in the case of OH peaks of the carboxylic acid. So this way we have finished the second quiz. In the next lecture I will discuss the third quiz. If you have any question based on this chapter, you can put me in the comment box. Now onwards, all the quizzes are closed and I will not accept any response further. If you have any questions on this quiz, you can put me in the comment box. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe.